very good morning to all our viewers. You're watching Breakfast News with me, Smriti Rastogi. And first up, a quick look at the top headlines of the day. Manohar Parrikar to be sworn in as the Goa Chief Minister today. Congress approaches Supreme Court against Governor's decision. Party to stake claim to form government. Ibobi Singh resigns as Manipur Chief Minister, stakes claim to form government. BJP chooses N. Biren Singh as CM candidate, claims support of 32 MLAs in 60-member assembly. India vows to give befitting reply to Pakistan after heavy shelling in Poonch sector. Cross-border trade facilitation centre damaged. Cross-LOC travel suspended. Britain's House of Lords passes Brexit bill, paves way for Theresa May government to trigger Article 50 for UK to leave the EU. And Durban stripped of right to host 2022 Commonwealth Games. Financial constraints and failure to meet commitments made after winning bid leads to ouster. Senior BJP leader Manohar Parrikar is all set to take oath today as Goa's next Chief Minister. The BJP that won 13 seats in the 40-seat assembly has claimed it has support of 21 members. Parrikar has claimed support of 3 members of MG Party, 3 members of Goa Forward and 2 independents. The swearing-in ceremony is slated for 5 p.m. today at Raj Bhavan. BJP President Amit Shah, Union Ministers Rajnath Singh and Nitin Gadkari are expected to be present at the swearing-in ceremony. Manohar Parrikar had met Governor Mridula Sinha on Sunday and formally staked claim to form the government. The governor has asked Parrikar to prove majority on the floor of the House within 15 days. While the swearing-in ceremony will take place today, there are speculations about who would be the next Deputy Chief Minister. Incumbent Francis D'Souza had held the post even during Parrikar's previous stint. Also, the constituency from which Parrikar will contest for a seat in the assembly has become a point of contention.
अमित शाह जी, राजनाथ जी आ रहे हैं, गडकरी जी आ रहे हैं।
कितनी संख्या रहेगी कल? कितने
लोग तो कितने भी आ सकते हैं, लेकिन
मंत्रिमंडल की संख्या
नहीं, वो मैं कल करी आपको।
Till now, as I'm talking to you, nobody has asked me to do it.
But what do you have to know this speculation?
This is pure speculation. I don't know. Let it come. Let the proposal come to me. We'll think about it. Let's see.
If party allows you to step down for Mr. Manohar Parrikar, what will be, how will you react?
It would be a big thing for the people of Mapsa to have the chief minister in their constituency. It is a credit for the people of Mapsa.
लेकिन आज के लिए हमको डेवलपमेंट के बारे में सोचना है और जहाँ तक मेरी क्वेश्चन है वहाँ डेवलपमेंट करना बहुत जरूरी है और इसलिए हम लोग इसको हिसाब से बोले हम लोग और इसके लिए हम आगे जाएंगे।
The Congress, that is the single largest party in Goa, has moved the Supreme Court challenging the governor's decision to appoint Manohar Parrikar as the Chief Minister of the coastal state. The party has filed a petition last evening at the residence of Chief Justice of India J.S. Khehar. The Apex Court has agreed for an urgent hearing of the same at 11 a.m. today. The petition was filed by Goa CLP leader Chandrakant Kavlekar, and it has sought a stay on the swearing-in of Parrikar as the Chief Minister. The petition has also sought quashing of the decision of the governor to appoint Parrikar as the Chief Minister. The party has termed the governor's decision blatantly unconstitutional, illegal and arbitrary. In the 40-member House, the Congress has 17 MLAs. The Congress Legislative Party will meet Governor Mridula Sinha today to stake claim to form the next government in Goa, stating that they have the adequate numbers on their side.
The Congress Party has filed a petition before the Honorable Supreme Court challenging the appointment of Mr. Manohar Parrikar as the Chief Minister of Goa by the Governor of Goa. As Congress Party is the single largest party with 17 seats in Goa, which is having a strength of 40 seats. BJP is having only 13 seats and they didn't even have any pre-poll alliance. Despite of that, the Governor of Goa has appointed Manohar Parrikar as the Chief Minister. So we have prayed that his appointment may be quashed and we may be called to stake claim to form the government and prove our majority on the floor of the.
And with the BJP set to form the next government in Goa, despite being the second largest party, blame game within the Congress has begun. Party leaders in Goa are blaming the slow decision-making process in approaching possible allies and staking claim to form the government. Though they did not single out any leader, they said that there has been gross mismanagement by the party leaders and also a delay in choosing the Congress legislature party leader.
No, we couldn't form the government because there was a delay in the process of decision making of the CRP leader, and there were some conditions by our allies, and we could not revert back to them on time. So as a result of the delay due to the Congress leadership here in Goa, as a result of that, we had to suffer.
And Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has been given the additional charge of the Defence Ministry after Manohar Parrikar resigned to take on the new role of Goa Chief Minister. At Rashtrapati Bhavan, Communique said that President Pranab Mukherjee has accepted Parrikar's resignation with immediate effect, and further, as advised by the Prime Minister, Arun Jaitley will get the additional charge of the Ministry of Defence. This is the second time that Arun Jaitley is holding the additional portfolio of Defence Ministry during the present NDA government. He was in charge of the ministry earlier from May 26th to November 9th in 2014. And for more on this, I have with us our correspondent Ravindra Shioran, who is joining us on phone line. Ravindra, as per the latest information, Manohar Parrikar's swearing-in ceremony is slated to take place today at 5 p.m. The Supreme Court is about to hear the petition filed by the Congress on the matter. The suspense, I must say, is still on.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning, Smriti. This is very important that who is going to don the mantle of the Chief Minister's post in the western coastal state, one of the most tiniest assembly in the country, Goa. Everything will be clear only after the Supreme Court's crucial hearing, which is going to take place at 11 a.m. when the Chief Justice of India, Justice J.S. will take up the petition today, later in the day. The important development which is going on, which is taking place right now in Goa, is Prabhakar Timble, who is head of the president of the Goa Power Party, which has 3 members in the Legislative Assembly elected this time. He has resigned because of the decision taken by the Legislative Party to support the BJP. This is the most important development which is taking place right now. The Congress Party is going to meet, all the Legislative Party are going to meet today, later in the day, to decide their future course of action, which kind of strategy they are going to develop to deal with the situation. Also, the Supreme Court, which is going to hear this petition, has to decide whether the sports ceremony which is going to be slated today at 5 p.m. will take place as it is scheduled by the governor, or will there be any change after the decision of the Supreme Court will come. This is for the third time in the present NDA regime that any of the state has to approach to the Supreme Court for stake the claim of majority, to prove his majority outside the assembly. We have seen this in the past during the time, at the time of Arunachal Pradesh Assembly and Uttarakhand also. Both the cases reached the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court decided favor of the incumbent government. But here the situation is quite different. There is no incumbent government right now, as the election has held, and only the second biggest party has been given a chance. This is a bone of contention. Precedent says that only the biggest, whatever is the largest party, that should be allowed, that should be invited by the governor to form the government. And this is the main point where the Congress Party is depending upon, and this is the main argument of the Congress Party, that this is basically killing off democracy when the governor is not following the precedent which has been set by the previous antecedents during the earlier time. Yes.
All right, Ravindra, thank you so much for joining us and giving us all those latest inputs. So in a short while from now, the Supreme Court will start hearing the petition of the Congress Party regarding the swearing-in ceremony of Manohar Parrikar. Moving on, the Bharatiya Janata Party on Monday put forward the name of N. Biren Singh as the next Chief Minister of Manipur. The decision was taken at a meeting of the BJP legislators in the presence of 2 central ministers, Piyush Goyal and Prakash Javadekar in Imphal. Immediately after being elected as the leader of the BJP legislature party, Biren Singh met Governor Najma Heptulla, staking his claim to form the first BJP government in Manipur. In a dramatic turn of events, the BJP claimed it has the magic figure of 32 in the 60-seat Manipur Assembly to form the government. The party had won 21 seats and has claimed the backing of 4 National People's Party, 4 Naga People's Front and 1 Lok Jan Shakti Party members. It has also claimed backing of Congress MLA Andhro Shyam Kumar and TMC MLA Robindra Singh, who joined the delegation that met the governor. Meanwhile, after being asked by Hibdullah, Okram Ibobi Singh has tendered his resignation. The Congress has alleged the governor of being incompetent, saying that with 28 seats, the party was short of 2 seats to claim majority, and the single largest party is invited first to form the government. Ibobi Singh, after quitting as Chief Minister, also staked claim to form the government.
I told the Chief Minister, and I categorically emphasize, I told the Chief Minister, first you resign. Then only I can start the process of formation of the government. I didn't ask him or anybody that you prove your majority. But I have the documents of the BJP president along with they paraded the people.
He has the support. The Bharatiya Janata Party will be forming the government with the support of 3 parties, the Naga Peoples, the NPF, the NPP, the LJP, and certain other duly elected MLAs.
Those letters we have no knowledge about. The signatures that are there are not the signature of my president. The letter is not even on a letterhead of the party. The official letter of the party has been submitted. We have signed, our president has signed, all our MLAs have signed. The BJP and the NPP and the other parties that have come together.
There is sufficient time is there, and also she asked to me yesterday when I met her, and during the time of stake claim for formation of new government, and I request her, please start process. So he said that after you submit your resignation, then for formation of new government will start for process. Ma'am, that is definitely, that is mandatory.
And to get the latest on this story, we'll go across to our correspondent Akhilesh Suman, who is joining us on the phone line. Akhilesh, both the Congress and the BJP have staked claim to form the government in the state. How are things likely to pan out in the course of the day ahead?
Actually, this is very interesting situation, Smriti, because Congress is the single largest party in the state, and still it is lacking of 3 MLAs. That is the magic number to form a government by simple majority. So you know that there are 60 members, and then 31, you need a number. But conversely, BJP just have 21 and needs 10 candidates, but it is claiming that it is getting more than 10. It is getting, I think, around 11 candidates so that it can have 32 MLAs in the state assembly. So Najma Heptullah has moved very cautiously, and she is trying to dispel the fact that there should be no horse trading. So she is not inclined to invite any candidate for the chief ministerial post who doesn't show the majority before they go to claim the formation of the government. And that is why BJP paraded all MLAs that is in their command. And you know that most controversial thing is that All India Trinamool Congress MLA was not inclined to join hand with BJP at any point of time in the past. Now its MLA is also joining BJP's bandwagon for formation of the government. So BJP is certainly having upper hand, because Nationalist People's Party that has been claiming that we will go with the BJP. In between, some news came that no, Congress has offered deputy chief ministerial post and 3 cabinet posts to the NPP, so they might come with the Congress. But recently, Conrad Sangma, who is the convener and president of NPP, he has claimed that no such offer, and we are not going to accept any such offer. So things are very clear. But how Nazma Heptullah is thinking that, see, there is a case in Supreme Court now about the Goa that is also undergoing the same situation. So she is keeping an eye on how Goa things pans up and how Supreme Court comes out about its decision to go for the Goa. And it will depend that Manipur will also go in the same way virtually.
Right,
because see, it is not only the single largest party, the governors want to ensure that there should be no horse trading and there should be no uncertainty once the government is formed. That is
Right,
majority and there will be drama inside
All right,
and
Akhilesh.
outside.
Thank you so much, Akhilesh, for joining us and giving us all those latest information on this development from Manipur. And moving on, the markets have reacted very positively to the BJP's big win in UP. At opening today, the rupee climbed to 42 paise to 66.18 against dollar in opening trade. This is a nearly one-year high for the rupee. Nifty also hit a new high at 9,122.75 in opening. I beg your pardon, 9,122.75 in the opening trade. Sensex also soared to 616 points to 29,561.93 on BJP's massive win in UP. With that, we'll slip into a very short break. On the other side, more news and updates. Stay tuned.
Gyan Chopper is the ancient version of Indian snakes and ladders. This intriguing game was popular among the old, the young and the rulers as well. The chopper has its origin in the Jain philosophy. It tells the story of virtue, symbolized by the ladders, rewarded, while the vices shown by the snakes are punished. Each square, in turn, also narrates some message of wisdom.
Welcome back. All limits on cash withdrawal from savings bank account imposed on 8th of November has been removed with effect from Monday. In a two-stage process, the weekly withdrawal limit per account had been raised to 50,000 rupees from 24,000 rupees with effect from 20th February. And all limits on ATM withdrawals were slated to cease from 13th March. Earlier, the RBI Bank had removed all curbs on branch withdrawals from current accounts, cash credit and overdraft accounts on January 30th and limits placed on daily cash withdrawals from ATMs from 1st of February. Last month, the cash withdrawal limit from savings bank account was increased from 24,000 rupees to 50,000 rupees per week by the RBI. Meanwhile, the Chief Economic Advisor Arvind Subramanian on Monday said that there is a need for the cash to GDP ratio of 12% to come down for demonetization to be successful. While delivering the Homes Memorial Lecture in Kochi, he also said that if the Western economies become more protectionist, it can have a bigger impact on the domestic economy. He went on to explain that if the world was to become protectionist, exports cannot grow at 25% and the country would have to bear slow growth. Calling 2016 as a watershed year for advanced economies, he said 2016 will go down in history as a moment when the advanced economies like the Europe and America actually decided to change their model of development and how they run economy by becoming more inward-looking, retreating from open markets and globalization. Subramanian also suggested that India should follow in China's footsteps by being more proactive in becoming champions of keeping world markets more open. On to some more developments. In a third ceasefire violation in less than 24 hours, Pakistani troops resorted to motor shelling and firing by the automatic weapons along the line of control in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir, prompting the army to retaliate. According to the reports, Indian Army personnel took positions and responded befittingly to the Pakistani firing. There is no casualty on the Indian side. On Sunday, Pakistani troops resorting to firing and mortar shelling in Kishan Ghati sector along the line of control in Poonch district. Following the violations, Union Minister Jitendra Singh said that the people should trust the Modi government that it will give a befitting response to such acts. Many Pakistani nationals were stranded as authorities in Jammu and Kashmir suspended a cross-line of control bus service amid ceasefire violations by Pakistan. The move impacted a number of passengers from Pakistan who had turned up to board the bus.
No, I think Indian government and Indian agencies are capable of meeting any kind of challenge, and therefore you'll see the results in the days to come.
कल सर इतनी सर सेलिंग हो रही है सर, लोग यहाँ पे बहुत डरे हुए हैं सर, तो सर बच्चों को सर एग्जाम सर पर चल रहे हैं सर, बच्चों बहुत परेशान हो चुके हैं सर, हम लोग खुद परेशान हो चुके हैं कि ये सर हो क्या रहा है, पाकिस्तान में अपनी हरकतों से आवाज नहीं आ रहा है.
Meanwhile, Baloch activists on Monday demanded appointment of UN Special Rapporteur to look into the human rights violation in Balochistan. The activists protested outside United Nations office in Geneva against China, Pakistan and human rights violations in Balochistan. A large number of Baloch women and children also took part in the protest and had blocked main road for several hours. The protests were against the alleged occupation and exploitation of Baloch natural resources through CPEC on Baloch territory by Pakistan and China. Member of European Parliament Rizard Zarneski said that European Union might change its economic policies if Pakistan's attitude towards the Baloch issue remains unchanged.
Our demand from day one has been for UN to take Balochistan issues seriously and first and foremost send a fact-finding team. Although teams have been sent in the past, or working committees have been formed in the past, but when the teams go to Pakistan, their activities are absolutely obstructed.
The British Parliament has passed a bill that will allow Prime Minister Theresa May to start talks to leave the European Union. The lower house, that is the House of Commons, rejected changes to the bill and then sent it back to the upper chamber for them to vote again. The upper house of Parliament, that is the House of Lords, voted not to insist on its original amendments and rather passed the original proposals. That means the EU withdrawal bill was passed unamended. The Queen will now sign the bill into law. This would leave Theresa May free to push the button on withdrawal talks. And more international news and world wrap. White House has softened its stance on US President Donald Trump's wiretap claims. White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer said that the claims by the Trump that he has wiretapped by Barack Obama were not meant literally. He added that Trump had broadly meant surveillance and other activities when he made the allegation in a tweet earlier this month. He also suggested the president was not accusing his predecessor specifically. Turkey says it will suspend high-level diplomatic relations with Netherlands after Dutch authorities prevented its ministers from addressing expatriate Turks at rallies. The sanctions include a ban on the Dutch ambassador and diplomatic flights from the Netherlands. President Tayyip Erdogan is seeking Turkish voter support in a referendum to boost his powers as head of the state. Turkish attempts to hold rallies in Germany, Austria, Switzerland and the Netherlands have been blocked. North Korea on Monday boycotted a UN review of its human rights record, calling the session as politically motivated. The UN Human Rights Council held a 2-hour session on issue of rights abuses in North Korea. The session discussed a 2014 report that detailed the use of political prison camps, starvation and execution in the country, saying security chiefs and possibly even the supreme leader Kim Jong-un himself should face international justice. However, North Korea refused to participate. An explosion in the center of the Afghan capital, Kabul, destroyed a bus carrying employees of one of the country's biggest telecom firms on Monday. At least one person was killed and 8 were wounded in the explosion that occurred as people were leaving work in a well-to-do area of the city. The attack came less than a week after dozens of people were killed and wounded in an attack on country's largest military hospital by gunmen dressed in medical uniforms. And on to some sports news now. Durban will no longer hold the Commonwealth Games 2022. The Commonwealth Games Federation said that the city did not meet the criteria set by the organization. Durban was awarded the Games in September 2015 and was due to be the first African city to host the event. Last month, South Africa's sports minister had indicated that Durban may not be able to host the event because of the financial constraints. Search for a new host city had already begun, with Liverpool and Birmingham expressing interest in staging the games. And that's all we have for you in this edition of Breakfast News. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV for more news and updates.